Welcome, Sadhakas. We are initiating for being parallel with Sama Ved values. For it, transition is required from Rig Ved values to Sama Ved values. Let me make a specific statement. Sadhakas fulfilled with intensity of urge to be parallel with the transcendental reach from Rig Ved to Sama Ved shall initiate for transition from Sam to Som and back from Som to Sam. It brings us face to face with manifestation of 5-space content within 4-space at origin seat and transcendence from origin of 4-space to 6-space format for the origin seat. Let me put it again. The transition from Rig Ved to Sama Ved will initiate the transition from Sam to Som and back from Som to Sam. This transition from Sam to Som brings us face to face with manifestation of 5-space content. And this will bring us face to face with the transcendence from origin of 4-space to 6-space format for the origin seat. Let me put it that my first thesis has been mathematical basis of Vedic literature. I learned it at the feet of His Holiness Shri Shripad Babaji Maharaj. The message in respect of the values of my first thesis of His Holiness Shri Shripad Babaji Maharaj has been as that the revelation of eternal wisdom has been the eternal quest, the meeting point of Alpha and Omega in Indian school of thought. Lord Krishna reveals this message in Bhagavad Gita as, I taught this immortal yoga to Vishwan, sun god. Vishwan conveyed it to Manu, his son, and Manu imparted it to his son, Ikshvaku. This message continues. The transmission of the light of knowledge from man to man and from age to age is handed down through the great ancillary of cosmic memory by the enlightened one to the seeker in quest. Whenever this link of interaction is broken, the energy is stagnant and humanity stands at the crossroad. Symbolically, the churning of divine and demonic forces comes to the point of creating problems for right discrimination to decipher the truth and the right dimension of consciousness. Since these ancient links are lost, intellectual attempts to regain them are being made since several decades. The present research work within the Vedic mathematical disciplines opens new horizons for the modern science and inspires rational thinking to go back to the ancient metaphysical courses of the meeting point of thingness and nothingness, which the great symbol reveal in the mantras and Shruti, the journey of consciousness of Puranic Kathas, and in the insight into the in-depth psyche of Bhagavad Gita. Once again, efforts are being made to provide a way to the rational scientist to link knowledge with the energy of an inscrutable faith, which can open in him the mystic eye or vision. The rejuvenation of the quest is deeply stressed and aims to drive at the metamorphism in the fields of eternal mathematics, introduced here as the first of its kind. The message proceeds. Shri Sant Kumar Kapoor's quest, else engaged in the field of jurisprudence, has opened his intuitive faculty of study ancient structures in the light of modern mathematics. These studies were brought to focus by His Holiness Swami Bharati Krishna Tirthaji Maharaj, the Shankaracharya of Kanchipet, around 1965. As the Shrutis of the Vedas sing in chorus, he is full, this is full. If fullness is taken out of fullness, there remains fullness. So the heart of the Rig Ved concludes that our thoughts should be same, our actions should be same. There should be no diversity between them, that the fullness of thought, speech and action should meet at Alpha and Omega at one meant to unlock the intuitive forces and dynamic energies in quest of the churned out ambrosia. The universal syllable Om is beginning and the end. This research work is on its way to arrive at this very conclusion. May the Supreme Divine bless the venture. And this message has been in the background of the conclusion of the Sthapatyamairing rod as the organization format of whole range of knowledge as a single discipline, the Vedas. Sthapatyamairing rod is a synthetic setup of hypercubes. Hypercubes are fourfold manifested contents of quadruple consecutive dimensional spaces within creator's space. And this creator's space manifests itself as Chatushpit. The formulation Chatushpit is of transcendental code value 30, hypercube 8, eightfold nature, Asht Prakriti. Vedas manifest Chatushpit. Vedas unfold Chatushpit, and this unfolding is parallel with Asht Prakriti. The studies ahead had taken me to the Vedic mathematical basis of structural frames and systems of Sama Ved Samhita. Shri Shri Pad Babaji Maharaj had sent me for further insight while being at the feet of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi Ji. And the message of this second PhD doctoral thesis of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's blessings has been as that while considering the actuality of the formation of structures, it is really heartening to find that scientific researches have shown that every state of consciousness has its corresponding physiology. there are 7 states of consciousness. Each state of consciousness has its own world of physiological structures. The mechanics of transformation from one reality of structure to another fundamentally takes place in the unmanifest field of consciousness, in the unified field of natural law, where the self-interacting dynamics of the unified field most spontaneously maintains simultaneously and yet sequential evolution of forms and structures. This is field of intelligence where all possibilities are always lively. The computation of the mechanics on this level being a self-referral phenomenon within pure singularity field of transcendental consciousness or the transcendental level of intelligence, the 4th state of Turiya consciousness with reference to 3 others commonly experienced as waking, dreaming, and deep sleep states. Actually, they make waking, dreaming, and deep sleep states of consciousness are the coverings of the pure state of consciousness, of pure intelligence, where the different folds take forms on the format of pure intelligence. All the mechanics, their formations, structures, and transformation from one to another have their own characteristic qualities in each of 3 waking, dreaming, and deep sleep state. For the similar reasons, all the mechanics that compute different structures on the level of Turiya state have their own special qualities. Considering just these 4 characteristics of consciousness, following Meyerman theory, attention plays an important role in the emergence of specific values, qualities in the physiological structures with reference to each of these 4 states of consciousness. This we are mentioning just to indicate that the mechanics of formation of structures have their different characteristics with reference to the relationships between these 4 qualities of consciousness. We know waking, dreaming, and deep sleep states of consciousness have their own worlds, the world of structure with reference to each state of consciousness. And because of the basis of these 3 states in the 4th state, the mechanics of forming these structures have their own basis in the self-referral dynamics of Turiya state, where the unmanifest reality prevails and spontaneously from within itself the different folds emerge. This is a level where the consciousness is its own physiology. All the physiological structures at this level are fundamental to all structures, Maharshi. So blessed. These my doctoral thesis take me to the initial transition from the Sthapatya miring rod format for organization of Vedic knowledge to Sama Ved Samhita as Jyoti, Brahm Jyoti flow through orb of the sun at the seat of Surya through artifices of soul cellable Om as a Divya Ganga Parvaha. And this Parvaha manifests as transcendental content freezed within creator's space at its origin seat, which because of the self-referral format leads to transcendence at the origin seat, as a result of which the transcendental domain splits into northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, and at the self-referral origin of the transcendental domain, there happens Sama, transcending, transforming as Som with its reach at the orb of the sun. With this, we will proceed. Thank you very much.